you how to create and utilize the new Google Sites. It's much easier than classic sites was. So let's go ahead and get started. For the new Google Sites, all you have to do is be in your Google Drive. You no longer have to go to sites.google.com. You just go ahead and click on New. And when you click on New, it brings up the option of apps that you have available. And then you hover over More. And if you see down here, you'll see Google Sites. So you go ahead and click on it, and it will automatically bring up your template for your new Google Sites. So a quick little overview of what you're going to see here. Where it says Untitled Site right up here, that's going to be the file name of your website. Since it is now going to be saved in your Google Drive, this would be the file name of that site that you'll find in your Google Drive. Right here is going to be the title of your site that will be seen on your main page. And when we publish the site, you're going to have to name it, give it a web address name that's going to be linked to it. So we'll be talking about that in a minute. Off to the right-hand side, you'll see the Insert tab. You can insert a text box, images, embed. You can upload from your website. But you can also do the same exact thing from the Insert tab just by double-clicking anywhere. So if I double-click here, it brings up what I call the Wheel of Awesomeness. And you'll see that all those options that are off to the right are also going to be available right here. So if you just want to add text, click right there. Add an image, click right there. So all of that's available to you right off that site as well. There are a few easy Google embeds that you can add: a YouTube video, a calendar, which we'll be talking about in a minute, and then a Google map if you want to show the location of your school. And then, of course, you can also input Google Docs and slides directly from your Google Drive instead of searching from your Google Drive, which is what you would do by clicking here or over here. The Pages option is where you're going to add new pages. So right now, right off the bat, you have a home page, but we can add more pages as well. You can have a homework page, you can have a calendar page, and then you can even add sub pages, which is so much easier utilizing the new Google Sites. And then of course you can create little themes already. This is new, so they only have a few that you can use. It starts off with the simple theme. I say leave it on the simple theme, and there's ways that we can change it off to the side. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and open the Wheel of Awesomeness and then click on text. So now to add text to your Google site, you don't have to go to edit and then go to insert. You just go straight into the Wheel of Awesomeness by double clicking, and then you can start typing your text. Another great thing that you can do is you can create columns or move the text around just by moving these little options over here. So if you want to write a little bit about me off to that side, and then double click on the Wheel of Awesomeness, and boom, about the class on the other, you can. And when you hit enter, it just goes down that column off to the side. So you can do it you can do that, no problem. You can make it smaller if you want. Same thing on this side. And you can bring in images. So if I double click and I say I want images, and we are in the Buchanan area, so I'm going to go ahead and search Google Drive for a bear image. Notice I can put the image wherever I want. So it's completely customizable in any fashion that you want. You may also want to create kind of separations, right? So after the About Me, you want to maybe right underneath it, you want to have your calendar. That's really easy to do as well. All you do, once again, is double click, click on text, and then move off to the side, and you can change the color. So, and that's done under emphasis. You click there, and now we're going to click here again, and we're going to change it from normal text to a heading. and we're going to call it calendar. And we're done. And you can move that to the middle if you want. And notice it creates a separation on your page. Now, right now, the emphasis only has the color of blue. But as students do, I have students making these as their portfolios. And they said, well, if you go to image and you select image, it brings up all these different colors that you can use right now. And so I can just click on this one and click select, and boom, you can customize it right there. So even though the color options are low, the image options are endless. And notice it tries to match the background image to your text here. And so I guess and so that's what this little, these stars move. So if I turn that off, you get the full brightness of your image. And if you turn it on, it darkens the background so that your text pops just a little bit more. So that's how you can customize the background of where your text is located. And like you can do the same thing over here. So if I'm on the About Me page, all I do is come over to the paint palette. I come down to image. I go to select image. And let's say that I want that background to be clouds. I click the clouds. I click select. And so that whole area over here is now clouds. I don't like that, so I'm going to come back here and just do it regular, and it brings it back to regular. Now, right now, the text font is only limited to title, heading, subheading, or normal text, and the color is basically limited to black and white. That will change a while. You do have, these text fonts off to the side as well, but that changes it for the entire page, not just a single page. So, and then the same thing with these colors. It just changes the theme just a little bit off to the side. So those big customizations should be coming down the pipeline later. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and just leave it as our simple font. And we can just change the colors and everything based upon the little paint palette right over here. If you put something you don't like, all you do is you click on it, hit the trash can, boom, it goes away. If you accidentally did that, you can hit the undo button and it brings it right back for you. If you want this to be down here instead, just click drag and drop, and now you can move it to wherever you want. If you want the paw to be bigger, you click on it and just drag these off to the side, and now you can make it bigger. Now, you can add a calendar here, and you do that by, once again, going under the Insert tab and clicking on the calendar option. And it opens up all the different calendars that you have currently in your Google Calendar. I'm going to show you how to utilize Google Classroom and use that calendar. So when you update your Google Classroom, you automatically update your website calendar, but that will be in a separate tutorial. Now, let's say that I want to create another page. This is my main page. All right, I'm going to just title it main page just so you get the idea. And you want to assume your parents and students are only going to be visiting this page, which is why you want the main important information you want them to know to be on this page. But let's say you want a homework tab. So I'm going to click on pages and I'm going to click plus page. I'm going to title this homework. Now, I know we as educators have multiple preps. So if you're teaching Math 1 and Math 2, then you can create multiple pages for one of them for Math 1 and one of them for Math 2. So let's pretend that's the case. Okay, so instead of a homework tab, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to change it. You can always change the name of your page by clicking rename. And I'm going to title this Math 1. Let's say that we are teaching Math 1. Right? I also want to create a page called Math 2. Notice it automatically creates a separate link right up at the top. You no longer have to add those. You no longer have to add them by yourself, right? Manually. It automatically pops them up there. Now, let's say under Math 1, we want to list all the homework for Math 1. Notice if I just hit new page, it'll create a new page called homework. But I want that to be linked to Math 1. They've made it very easy to link pages now, creating a sub page by clicking and holding the page you want, dragging the page to the other page that you want to link it to and letting go. And now that Math 1 now has a homework link. And I'm going to do the same thing for my homework page for Math 2. I'm going to click homework. And I'm just going to drag it on top of Math 2. And boom. So now look, now there is that little down arrow. And you can see that I have a homework option underneath Math 1, and I have a homework option underneath Math 2. So that's an easy way to create sub-pages. Now, if you want to bring in a YouTube video, let's say that you've already recorded a YouTube video for a lesson and you want to bring that in, all you do is double click. And from URL, you can paste in that YouTube URL right there if you already have it. Or if you want to search for it, you can go to Insert and then down to YouTube. And I'll just type in math. And then, or any of the videos you have already previously uploaded right over here. I'm just going to type in math again. And let's say 5 math tricks that'll blow your mind. I click on it, and boom, it automatically adds that video to your web page. Easily clicked, easily accessible from your students. The preview button is pretty neat because what that does is it'll show you, if I click on it, it'll show you the options down here of how it is viewed. So you're making this on a computer, so it's going to show you what it looks like on a computer. But we all know that most of our students and parents are going to be viewing this off of a cell phone. So you can click this cell phone option, and it will show you exactly what it would look like on a cell phone. So if we want to go back to the main page, I click on this toggle bar. I go to the home page. It'll show me what my main page, my home page will look like underneath on a cell phone. Very neat feature so that we can actually customize our web pages to look better on a cell phone, because we do know that the majority of our students and parents will be viewing this on a cell phone. Let's say that you have already pre-made stuff like resources on a school website. So I know Math does. So I'm going to go ahead and hit exit. I'm going to exit off the preview to come back into our editing page. I'm going to go to pages and I'm going to type in resources. Now these are going to be Math 1 resources. So we made that page and I'm going to drag it up underneath the homework on Math 1. And notice it now links it to Math 1. So I have resources now. So under resources, let's say that I want to link this to a page that already has math stuff on it. So I'm going to go to Buchanan. To their webpage. Okay, maybe it's Buchanan High. All right, I'll go to CUSD.com and then go to Buchanan. So schools, Buchanan High. Oh, BHS, so that's what it was. So I'll go ahead and click on it. And it takes me to Buchanan's web page. Now, if we go down to academics, I can go to the math department. And you can see that I know math already has Math 1 video and unit resources. They already have this already pre-made all right here. We don't have to redo all that on our website. All I'm going to do is hit Control-C to copy this right here. I'm going to go back to our web page and I'm going to put in the URL. So there is the link to the Math 1 resources. If you want it to be a little bit more personal, you can add text and you can say, please click here to go to the Math 1 resources. You would highlight that, click the link button, and then paste in that link, hit apply. And now when they click on that link, it will take them right to that resource. So I can click on the preview button, click on this, and it should take me right to the Buchanan High Math resource. So you can redirect your students to any website you want. This is great if you have your textbook online and you want them to go to their textbook. This is great if you want to put links for very commonly used websites or resources and you want it to be a real quick resource click away. When you're done, make sure you name your site. So I'm going to just call this one sample site. And notice it puts that right up here. That won't be seen. That will be seen when they visit your website. So you want to name it something that is associated with your class. And when you're done, you're going to click publish. Right here, publish. And once again, you're going to add one more name. I know that's lots of names, right? The file name, the homepage name, and now the published site name. But this is the name that's going to appear after Clovis USD. So if you want it to be Marquez Math or Marquez Science, you type it in. If you put a space, it'll automatically put a dash there for you. And that'll be the name of your website right here. I'm just going to call this Marquez Test Site. And when you're done, you click publish. And now it is published to the web. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to show you when we clicked publish. And that's we want to make sure that we select anyone on the web can view, because parents are going to be viewing this and they are not part of Clovis Unified. So you want to make sure that you mark down anybody on the web can view. And then you're going to click on view published site. And this URL, this one up here, you're going to copy it. And that is what you're going to send to your webmaster to place next to your name on the school's website for easy access by parents and students. Now, one of the other differences with these new Google Sites is that after every change that you make, you have to click the publish button, because otherwise it's just going to be a draft of those changes. So every time you make a change, every time you add a resource, every time you change the home page and you change the what's going on here, you're going to want to click publish every time, because otherwise your changes are pending. Every change you make is going to be pending unless you click that publish option. So hopefully this quick little tutorial, this little walkthrough will help you get started with your new Google Sites. Hopefully this little tutorial gave you ideas on how to structure your site. And hopefully it also answered some questions of how to add text or how to add sections on the different pages. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions on any of these things on how to create a spectacular site for you, your students, and your parents.